Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Raylan.
And I'm Micah.
And today we are just going to be having a little casual car convo, just about long distance. And I know we are in our love story series. The next thing to talk about is just how we dated long distance for 5 months before we got engaged. So we just asked you guys to ask us some questions on Instagram. So we'll be answering those as well as just talking a little bit about our journey. And yeah, we are in our car today. We know it's a little different, but we're just excited. It's gonna be a little casual conversation. So
yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
So the first question says how to deal with the frustration of long distance. I would say that it's very hard and sometimes you just don't know how to deal with it, but I remember something that we set in place was that we were going to see each other at least once a month. Because I came to realize, like, the longer you are apart, the more frustrated you get. And I remember being frustrated that we were apart and then taking it out on him. Like, he's done nothing wrong, but I'm just mad that we're not together. Anyway, and so I remember, like, having to be like, okay, this isn't about him. This is about the fact that we're not together. And so I remember just having to be like, okay, kind of just like recenter and remember that the enemy wants us to be mad at each other and he wants us to be frustrated at the situation, but then just had to kind of give it to the Lord and trust that it was just part of the process and that it would be over soon.
Yeah, and then her being frustrated at me and me having no idea what, like, she was frustrated at, and she wouldn't, like, say why she was frustrated, would make me frustrated at her thinking that I did something wrong. And it's just a whole bunch of miscommunication. So it was very difficult, but we made it through it with a lot of prayer and help from the Lord and from each other. Obviously, from coming and seeing each other once a month, it definitely helped. Even though they were like super short trips, but it was what we could do at the time.
Like, I just remember it would get to the point where I literally almost forgot what it was like to be together, and then so everything just starts getting miscommunicated and blurry and foggy, and you're like, what in the world, why do I feel like this? But it's literally just because you haven't seen them, you don't remember really, and you're just having to go by off like what's actually happening, and that's that you're however many miles apart and you can't see each other and you're mad at the world because of it.
And then that's what makes the short trips so terrible, because yeah, they were amazing because we saw each other, but because you were with each other long enough to almost get used to being around each other, and then you would have to leave, and then you would go to the airport and cry your eyes out because it was sad.
Truly. Question number 2 just says long distance tips, please.
Ooh.
You go first.
I think this one kind of goes hand in hand with any kind of relationship, but be intentional. For guys, do those corny Hallmark things that they do. Send letters, write letters. Always do that. Spray it with some cologne if you have to. Do what you gotta do. I did that and it helped. But yeah, girls really like the cheesy things, guys. So if you're watching this and you're a dude and you need help, girls like the cheesy things, so do that. But definitely be intentional with your time. Don't get sidetracked doing anything else if it's time to go call your girlfriend or boyfriend, whichever. Don't get too busy because you are long distance and you have to set aside time every day to talk to them.
So yes, I would say communication is key, intentionality is key. Just like do things to make it fun, even though you aren't together. Like, we would have FaceTime movie dates and like do things on FaceTime dinner dates, just things that normal couples get to do all the time but you have to do virtually, and just keep it fun. Also communicate, like he said, be intentional, do little things like send letters. Yeah, trying to think if I have any more tips. Anyway, question number 3, were you long distance while you were engaged? Yes, we were. Our whole entire relationship up until 4 days before the wedding, we were long distance. Engagement was not my favorite season of my life. I know some girls literally thrive in their wedding planning process. I did not experience that for several different factors. I loved it, like I cherished it, but like planning the most important day of your life on top of long distance, on top of a full-time job, on top of several other factors was just very hard and very hard to balance it all. And then especially long distance, like you're planning the wedding but he's not here to plan it with you. And so I just remember like feeling, oh my gosh, I wish he was with me to do all of these little things with me and make decisions with me, and like us just get to do it together. And I was constantly in this thing of like, I'm gonna look back on our engagement season and we're not even gonna be together. But we just did intentional things, like I had a bridal shower in Florida where he's from, and just did things to make it seem like we were together the best we could, and like included his family and made sure they were all apart and stuff like that. But yes, we were long distance for 10 months total.
And it stinks for being the guy in this situation because she's doing all the planning and you're not there, and you just feel helpless and all you want to do is help and you can't do anything. So it's just awful.
The next question says, how old are you guys?
25.
25, 21. Young bucks.
Youngins.
The next question is, how did you guys meet? And we actually just made a whole video on that. So I'm going to redirect you to the other video. I'll link it in the description below. The next question says, did anything make it easier for you guys?
FaceTime. FaceTime is your best friend in a long distance relationship, because you get to actually see each other's face. But I mean, obviously it's not the same as like giving them a hug, but definitely helps a lot.
Yes, FaceTime, and like I said, seeing each other once a month, being intentional about making those trips and surprising each other and just keeping it fun. The next question is, on average, how many hours did y'all spend on FaceTime?
A day? Probably 2 to 3.
2 to 3 hours a day.
Because I would call you on my lunch break.
Depending on the day, like our schedules are very all over the place.
Yeah.
So depending on the day of the week, like 2 hours. In the beginning, it was probably averaging like 4 to 5. So now we're just going to talk a little bit about our own long distance journey. And for me, like to the girls, I just want to say up front, like it's okay to communicate to him what you need from him. Like your long distance, if your love language is physical touch, you're obviously not going to be receiving that. And so it's important for him to know other ways that he can make you feel loved, because if you don't tell him, 9 times out of 10 he's not going to know. The guy literally cannot read your mind. And so it's important. I remember, like, you can't feel like, oh my goodness, he should just know this about me, if you don't vocalize and put the expectation out there. And if you're like, this is what I expect from you, or if you wake up feeling insecure, you say, you know, I feel insecure today, I need you to make me feel extra loved. Like, that's not selfish. Like, if you need that from him, then it's okay to talk about that. And make him aware, because you would rather him be aware and be able to give that to you than not be aware and for you to get your feelings hurt over something that wasn't even communicated to him that you needed.
Yeah, and guys, don't think like that's weird. Like if she does open up and like is able to communicate, be thankful, because there will be times when it's gonna seem like something is wrong, and if she's not opening up about it, you're gonna go insane trying to figure out what is wrong because she's not vocalizing it. You know what I mean?
And I think as the guy, like, you feel like you want to know it all and have it all together and you want to know all the answers, but at the end of the day, like, let her be honest with you about the way she's feeling and what she needs from you, and then take that as challenge. Like, okay, I can step up to the plate and be this for her. Don't take it as like correction, because it's not that. She's literally just vocalizing her feelings to you and making you aware of what she needs. We're at Target. A little brief intermission because we're at Target.
You know what that means?
What does that mean?
You know what they say.
You know what they say about Target.
You know what they say. Wait, what do they say?
We're actually just in Target because we were recording the video in the Target parking lot, and both of us have to go potty. We just drank a lot of coffee.
Our bathroom break turned into a little...
We have to go to the Magnolia section.
Of course we do. Can't go to Target without going to the Magnolia section.
We just have to go to see the candles. The greenery.
The greenery.
The best section in Target. Comment if I'm right. And comment if I'm wrong.
I'll be here while you look.
And like
Let me
you
know when you're ready.
literally come to Target for, let's say, some paper towels or something, and then you grab the paper towels, but then you also grab 2 or 4 things that
2
you
or
don't
4,
really
yeah.
actually need. I love that mirror. Everybody knows that the whole best part of drinking the coffee is when you grab the handle and you're like,
But you really get the warm fuzzy
No.
feeling from the coffee when you hold it like this.
you still feel the warm. You just don't have to burn your other fingers. You can actually enjoy it. He all the way set the timer on the little Magnolia thing, and now he was just waiting to see if it dinged.
It didn't even ding. I think it was broken.
No, nothing Joanna Gaines breaks.
Well, it must have already broke.
No.
Or they didn't build it right.
It didn't.
Well, I had to drag her out of Target.
No, you didn't. I was ready to go.
I had to drag her out by her feet.
We're leaving Target. We didn't get anything. We mainly just had to go because we had to potty. But then you always just have to take a peek, you know? Thank you.
The bad part about opening the door for your wife is the sprint around the car to get in and started so you get AC.
Because it gets very hot. Well, that's it for today's video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. It was fun to just slow things down a bit and just have a little conversation / vlog situation. So we hope you enjoyed yourselves. We are so grateful that you are here, that you are part of the Murphy fam. And we look forward to seeing you again. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel. We are excited for the videos to come and look forward to having you along on the journey.
Also, if you haven't already, follow our Instagrams, also our TikTok. We have a TikTok too.
We love you guys.
See you guys next week. I can remember, honestly.
Peyton, please cut that out. Yes. Don't for so long. You have to keep it quick. This
I know,
can't be a
I'm sorry.
30-minute video.
I know.
Oh my gosh. It's something that made it hot in here.